Well, it's another lovely Monday morning, and I want to talk today just a little bit about the issue of pornography. And here's where I'm coming from at this. You see, there are a lot of people who are very concerned that pornography is a health issue. There are actually a couple of states now that have declared it a public health emergency. And I've seen some reaction. People on Facebook are like, oh, they're just trying to use any excuse to shut down freedom of speech. This is not about freedom of speech. This is not about freedom of expression. This is about people using other people for their own needs, for their own desires. And this can happen in other realms, and it does happen quite regularly. In fact, I think that pornography is actually probably more of a symptom of some of the problems that we're facing in modern culture, more than a cause. And here's where I'm coming from for that. I think right now we are living such segmented, separated lives. People hardly have any human contact anymore. You think about it, most people, they get up in the morning, they go to work. Even at work, they're likely to be in cubicles if they're not in their own little private office, where they don't have that interaction with people. They come close to interaction on Facebook, but I don't know if you've noticed, Facebook has become absolutely toxic at times because it's not as much of a social interaction anymore as it is just a place for people to spew whatever comes to their mind instead of thinking it through. When you're having a conversation with somebody and you start saying something that is really hateful or rude, you're going to get immediate verbal cues that you're offending somebody. You're also going to get immediate nonverbal cues. You're going to see people reacting. They're going to see eyeballs. You're going to see people shrinking back away from you when you say something that is shocking, when you say something that is inappropriate. And because we don't have that human interaction like people used to, I think that we're I don't know if it's like an evolutionary stage that we're devolving, where we are becoming less civil as a society. We are more inclined to use people for our own benefit. And like I said, I think pornography is a symptom of that. People are using these images of other people for their own gratification. They're not interacting with these people. They're not adding anything to these other people's lives at all. They are simply seeing something that they are then using for their own personal, ends. I guess we could put it that way. And you see it happen in business, too. People make business deals that they know are going to be shorting the other guy. People make really questionable calls, especially, you look in the world of politics today. It's just so much selfishness, so much self-absorption, so much what's in it for me. And I'm a voluntarist. I really believe that the best interactions that people have are when someone voluntarily interacts with you and you voluntarily interact with them. And if you have some kind of an exchange, whether an exchange of ideas or whether it's an exchange of goods or services, whatever it is, as long as it's voluntary, and then both of you are going to benefit from it. And if you're not both benefiting from it, you're not going to have that interchange anymore. How many things are we required by law to own? Things, now that you get health care, now you've got a certain amount of insurance you have to carry, not just with health, but with driving a car, whatever else. There's things that you're being required to buy someone else's product instead of it being a voluntary interaction. You see what I'm saying, right? I think that this is symptomatic of an overall breakdown. I think even the breakdown in civility is a symptom of this breakdown in relationship. People don't have close friends. People don't have close family. People don't have relationship. They don't really live in community. I'd like to change that. And it can only change a little bit at a time. I've got a circle of friends. We interact regularly. We see each other often. And I'd like it to be more. If you'd like to join in with me, send me an email. Maybe we can set up a time to have some coffee together or something like that. Steve at radiofreespeech.com. That goes for anything. If you've got a news tip for me for either my Alaska or other news stories, or if there's something you'd like to hear me do a comment on, send me an email, Steve at radiofreespeech.com. And as always, love to have you as a supporter either through Patreon or by buying a subscription. Once again, that's radiofreespeech.com.